can actually tell when it's still early in the morning because it means I have coffee instead of G Fuel. But yo, what is going on, you guys? TL13 here, aka the Lucky 13, or Ran 13 from Right Gaming, bringing you guys some more Call of Duty World War II content. And in today's video, guys, I am going to be teaching you guys how to go for unstoppable medals, specifically on Shipment. So without further ado, let's throw up some gameplay and get to it. Now again, with this weekend being so devoted to Shipment due to the triple double XP, you guys are seeing more Shipment gameplay, and if that's not your cup of tea, I get it, you guys can just avoid this upload, but this is to help people specifically this weekend while we have the double XP live. So with Black Ops 4 coming out soon, we do have this double XP event on Shipment. I'm not sure if that's entirely the reason, but I'd like to think it was a good idea for it to be the reason. So we have double XP on divisions, weapons, and soldier XP. So it's a great time to just, complete any challenges you guys have left that you want to complete before Black Ops 4, get any levels you want to get before Black Ops 4 comes out if you're not going to play much after then, or just get on, have some fun, squad up, and enjoy the weekend of double XP. Now, I understand there are multiple ways, there are multiple weapons, there are multiple classes you guys can use that you like using to go for unstoppable medals, and that is totally fine. You guys can get them in any way you would like. This is just going over what I find to be the easiest way and what I find I like to do. So if this doesn't work for you guys, that is totally understandable. If you guys like something better, for sure go for that. But this is what I do, and I find it consistently works for me at least. So if you guys can master it, I think it'll work for you guys as well. So first things first, let's go over the class setup. Now, the gun isn't super important. However, you want a gun with a big enough mag that you can get multi-kills, and a big enough mag specifically that your escalation can trigger and it will refill. So whether that be an LMG with a very large mag, or an SMG or an AR with just good accuracy and or extended mags. So personally, what I like to use recently is the VMG because I'm going for the camos on it, as it is a DLC gun I don't have all the camos for. So that is a light machine gun, so that's a good one to use. Or I like to use the proto whatever, the new SMG, because in my opinion I think it's just better than the PPSH, as controversial as that sounds. But you guys can use whatever you want. I definitely recommend those guns specifically, but the Lewis is also a very good gun I would recommend. People are going to message you trash talking regardless of what you do, just saying right now. You will get trash talked for it, so I mean that's pretty much COD, you guys should be used to that. So Lewis definitely good. The STG I find very good. You want to avoid things like the Bren or something else with a slower, aim down sight, slower fire rate. You want to be able to get quick kills because you need to not die, which is a big deal. The other thing about this class, the main portion, is the Commando Division. Specifically level up the Commando Division so you have everything unlocked. Now, if you guys don't have everything unlocked for Commando Division, it is rather easy because we have double Division XP as well. So you don't have to go for unstoppable medals yet. Go for the Division XP and Commando, level it up fully. It is not too difficult because what the Division does is it allows you to get extra score, which will lead to your score streaks. Whenever you get a headshot or a multi-kill, it also will refill your bullets and it will regen health faster, which is also very important, obviously, when you're trying to not die. The last thing, very important as well, is the second basic training. This allows you to run the correct basic trainings I'm going to tell you guys, which are Hunker and Escalation. Now, again, interchangeable depending on your playstyle, but this is what I am recommending specifically. Hunker because you are on Shipment and you will often get hit with explosives and you want to be able to live through them, and Escalation because you do not want to get caught reloading. This way you can get like 4 or 5 man feeds without having to stop and reload and be vulnerable. So Escalation is definitely a must as well. Now, the only thing I actually do consider very interchangeable that is not very specific is the secondary and the lethal. Obviously, I do enjoy C4s. They are really good when someone's stuck in a spawn, and I do prefer to use something like a machine pistol or just a regular pistol. I don't recommend using a melee or a launcher. Launcher can be good because if you need to shoot something down, that's really important, but oftentimes you don't want to be shooting things down because at that point you're vulnerable, and the melee weapons just aren't exactly the greatest when you're trying to go for streaks, so not going to recommend those either. But that is the ideal class setup that I am telling you guys. Again, primary weapon is very interchangeable. You just want something that has good power and that has like at least a moderate fire rate and aim down sight. Again, you do want something with a bigger mag though, so anything that's like 30 plus bullets is probably what I recommend. I don't like going lower than that, mainly because you want to be able to trigger Escalation with multi-kills. If you don't, you're vulnerable reloading, and you want to be able to trigger Commando to get you extra ammo, because if you run out of ammo, you're kind of out of luck. Now, the next thing to go over before actually telling you any sort of technique is the score streaks you guys run. I find recon is just very helpful in general. It does not get you any kills, but it will get you assists towards your next streaks, as well as it will just help you understand where the enemies are spawning, and that is just a big deal in something like Shipment when they could always be spawning right behind you depending how your teammates push. I definitely think recon is almost a must on this. I understand it's not a lethal, so it's not helping you get streaks, but it's helping you stay alive, which is kind of better than getting kills quickly, because at the end of the day you're trying to get a 30 streak plus, and it's not exactly easy. So staying alive is the best thing, so recon. The other kill streak that is interchangeable is you can run flat guns if you're super concerned about someone getting streaks and killing you, and that will happen because it is requisitions on Shipment all the time, especially with all the noobs funneling into it because of the double XP. And there's also just, you know, like ordnance, fighter pilots, not like hard to get. If you're using ordnance and like cavalry to get captures, it will happen, and I understand that is a concern. So if you guys want, you can run flat guns, but I do not run flat guns because I think one non-lethal is kind of enough. I want to have my other ones lethals. So the other ones are also interchangeable though. You can do something like fighter pilot glide bomb and just kind of loop them on repeat. However, that leaves you oftentimes vulnerable to being killed as you're in them. So what I like to do as of lately is I run firebombing runs and I run paratroopers. So because I run these, it kind of helps with the spawns. You put fire down a whole lane of the map, which is a big deal. It helps you get kills, helps you get ammo because you're getting multi-kills. And then paratroopers are just good to kind of, you know, fill the map. The enemies are going to be distracted killing them as they're killing the enemy, and then that leaves you open to get more kills as the enemy is distracted as well. So those are my recommended streaks. Artillery is also a good one over fire bombs if you want to change that up. And the ones I don't recommend are the gunship, because you don't want to be in a ball turret gunner because you're just so vulnerable the whole time, and they will spawn near you regardless because you are messing up spawns yourself in the ball turret gunner. And I don't recommend the carpet bombing because it is unpredictable where it's going to come through. You can kind of guess, but there is a good chance you kill yourself with it, so stay away from that as well. For me, what I am 100% recommending the most is UAV, recon, paratroopers, and fire bombs. That's out of order. But those are the ones I'm recommending for you guys to use. If you guys do want to change it, that is totally understandable. Something like artillery for fire bombs or something small like that, I do get it. But those are the ones I'm going to recommend the most for the strategy. Next thing is actually getting the unstoppable medals. So first things first, get a team together. In the gameplay you're watching, I probably don't have a team because I just can't be bothered and I play solo all the time. The problem with playing solo is you guys do not communicate. Your team may do things you don't want them to do. If you were on a streak and you're like reloading and you're like really scared, you're going to want to be like, hey man, I'm reloading here, can you cover me? Your teammates aren't going to cover you if you're not squatting up with them. They don't really care what you do. So best thing is to squat up with people and just be on the same page as each other. Number one thing you do not want to do is capture C flag on Shipment. B flag is kind of you don't really need it, but if you want the game to go long, you want to kind of battle for it. And then the A flag is definitely the most important because it is how you predict all of the spawns. Now, in this, we are not technically spawn trapping. We are not killing as soon as they spawn. You guys do not need to set up points to spawn trap right away, but this is kind of just to get spawns in your favor, which is a very common thing in Call of Duty, and people will misconstrue it as spawn trapping because it is Shipment, but this is in no way spawn trapping. This is just flipping the spawns in your favor. So once you guys have got this whole setup, you have a squad together, you guys are setting spawns in your favor, capping A. Make sure someone is on both jeeps. They don't have to be head glitching. You guys don't have to sit on the jeeps. Just buy the jeeps, that way they cannot spawn at A and they cannot spawn at the lower jeep, because if they do spawn at one of those, spawns will mess up and you will get killed from behind. So if someone is not on one of those jeeps, go to that jeep. You don't have to hold down a head glitch. You don't need to sit there with an LMG. You guys don't need to spawn trap. Just be sure there is at least one person on each jeep. That way they cannot spawn over there, and that will cause problems. And also, do not push the one little barrel thing. I don't know how to explain it. That looked really bad. Don't go in the one shipping container. So say this is A flag right here. There's the little container that goes to the other jeep, and then there's the lane, and there's the shipping container here, and oftentimes they will spawn in that shipping container if you're holding down the two jeeps. If someone goes in that container on your team, you guys will screw everything up. They will spawn at B and they will spawn at C. C is not a bad spawn, that is totally fine. The middle is but you don't want to be in that container because it will flip the spawn. So avoid that at all costs, and this is why it is a very good idea to be on the same page as your team, and that's why you guys should be getting a squad together. The next thing is play carefully. Do not simply sprint forwards. Do not rush any of those spawns. If you guys do want to play up more, if you're using an SMG like I do a lot of the times, you can hang around B flag and you can kind of just go back and forth, go forward, go back, forward. As long as the other jeeps are being held down and you know they're not behind you, you guys can push like that, and that almost is spawn trapping at that point, but it is a very good way to play. It is totally the right thing to do if you guys are using an SMG. You guys don't want to be trying to keep it far range, but you want to stick to the 50% of the map. So that means you go B flag and the 2 lanes, and then the shipping, the jeeps. You guys want to stay in that kind of vicinity. Avoid the other barrel, avoid C flag, and avoid middle towards either of those 2 in between, because that is how you are going to change the spawns and flip them unfavorably. The next thing you're going to want to do is be very aware. Have a headset on, even if you aren't squatting up, because you're not taking my advice already, and this is probably going poorly for you. Have a headset on. I use whatever this is. I use Turtle Beaches, something. Any over-ear headset is fine, as long as you guys can hear them a little better about where they're coming, if they're coming left or right, or if they're just getting near you, or they start spawning near you in any weird way. You guys definitely want to be aware of that. The next thing is other people are using commando. If you guys start noticing someone using commando, if you have an opportunity where you can look up, see if they're spawning above you, because oftentimes they will float down and try to kill you off your streaks. So that is one thing to be very aware of when doing this. And if you start getting close to streaks, say you just got fire bombs, hide if you can. If you guys are in a position where you can easily get away and hide, say you're on one of the jeeps, say you're not on A, you're on the other jeep, hide in that shipping container, call in the fire bombs, over C flag up straight to the other container, the part of the map that you're not on, and that way it wouldn't flip the spawns, because the fire won't necessarily block the spawns, it will just hurt them as they spawn, which gets much easier to get your further streaks. So do that, call those in, be safe, and then call in troopers. Start playing it safe after you've got your first troopers. Do not start playing it safe when you're like halfway to your first streak, because you don't want to take too long in this game, because things will go poorly if that happens. A big part about this is the requisition streaks tend to come in the second half of the game. So if you guys can get a good streak going in the first half and then kind of like play campy and be able to hide from other streaks in the second half, you guys are set. So that's kind of the majority of it. It's not so much like how you play. You guys should obviously be playing very careful, very aware, because if you guys don't play like that, you guys are going to get caught off guard. If there are snipers on the other team, you guys will kind of get screwed off head glitches, so be very cautious of that. Or if there are people just spamming, you know, saboteur nades, do not stay right behind a jeep the whole time. Do not like stay in one spot. You guys want to keep moving around and keep them on their toes, or else they'll be able to easily nade you or C4 you when you're hiding somewhere. Another thing is drop shotting and jump shotting. For some people that is very difficult. If you have a scuff like myself, it's really not that hard. If you guys are able to jump shot and drop shot, they are very good, obviously, in order to stay alive longer. And try not to hit the B flag much if you know there's a group of people. Chuck a C4 in there and just kind of hide a bit, or just slowly peek certain parts of it, shoulder peeking, you know, go back and forth so you see someone. But know that oftentimes that will be flooded, and you guys don't want to exactly go right in the middle unless you guys are holding down spawns perfectly. And this shouldn't actually be that hard. The reason to go for unstoppable is so that you get more XP. For those of you guys that don't know, every kill you get on an unstoppable medal, which is 30 plus, so your 31st kill, your 32nd kill, etc., all those kills will be worth 1,000 XP. And if you guys are in double XP like Shipment is right now, that will be 2,000 XP. And so I got insane amounts of XP from doing this. Just in my last game, I didn't actually get an unstoppable medal, but I still got 70,000 XP just from getting like 80 plus kills and getting some good streaks. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this. I hope this did help you guys a little bit. Of course, watch the gameplay I threw on for you too, and you guys will see, you know, some of the things I do, some of the little quirks that may go like unnoticed, you know, when to jump shot, when to drop shot, when to be very aware of where they're spawning, when to, you know, just kind of hide and wait it out. It's very much comes down to like you as a player. I can't really tell you how to be a better player. You guys have to just practice and learn from it. With double XP on the whole weekend, if you guys are on the whole weekend, you're going to start learning different things about the map. You'll learn the spawn points, you'll get a feel for it, because I can tell you guys all of it, but at the end of the day, you guys need to get your own feel for it, because you can't just understand by me saying at 20 seconds in, if this flag is here, they will spawn here. You guys aren't going to count. You guys don't remember. I can't even tell you that. I don't know the statistics of it. Squad it with people. Let me know how you guys do. Let me know how much XP you guys get over this course of this weekend. I am very excited to know how many people are taking advantage of it, because like I said in my previous video, I can't take advantage of the levels, but I am going to prestige Commander Division and probably Cavalry Division just while I can. So that's all for today's video though, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. Remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram down below in the description. Just a good way to stay up to date if I can't or can upload, or what I'm uploading or why I'm not uploading or something. Like for example, the day I'm recording this, I'm not actually uploading it, which I posted on Twitter because I have some stuff to do and I wanted to get this upload out early tomorrow morning, which is actually this morning when you're watching, if you're watching it just when I posted. So, good way to stay up to date with me, guys, for sure. As well as I will follow you guys back. You guys just let me know. It's not a problem at all. And remember to check out Rant Gaming's links down below as well, because the squad is always cool to follow. But without further ado, there, you guys, I'm signing off. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. This has been TL13 with Call of Duty World War II times XP on shipments, and peace out.